Broadcasting across Australia on Dare Media Group radio stations, this is the Sportcat Show, uncovering secret chapters, strange encounters,
and the occasional technical mishap.
There is always a technical mishap. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sportcat Show, formerly known as the Paranormal Guys. You've got just me tonight. My beautiful co-hosts are all out sick tonight, so you got to put up with just me. I want to remind everybody we are live in Australia, and if you want to come over and join the chat, come over and do so. We got some good peeps over here already. Chris, my number one fan, is here. Hello, Chris. Welcome. And by the way, we will be back with the daily show, Sportcat's Daily Gazette. We will have it back live on not next Monday. I'm going to be on the beach next week, so pending Mrs. Sportcat doesn't drown me, I'll be back on air the following week. So as everybody knows, we've got a couple great guests lined up. I'm trying to hit all the right buttons here. Our first guest tonight, he comes to us. He talks a lot like me, so you might have to pay special attention. He comes to us from the hills of Kentucky, and he's got a story, Kentucky Moonshine, and me. Or no, is that, hold on, I'm screwing this up. PopKorn and Moonshine. See, I told you I'd already screw it up. Welcome. Danny Henderson is our guest for the first hour tonight. Hello, Danny. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. So now that I've screwed up the name of your book, and what's funny is I had it over here on the screen by me. Oh, good Lord. I
have a lot of people that they get on me about misspelling the first popcorn, with a K. And then I have to try to tell people, I say, well, I want it to be unique, and hillbilly people don't spell very well. So that's the way they spelled it whenever he was a boy. So that's the nickname they gave him. So I try to explain it that way. So
now, when you say his nickname, you're talking about your dad. Is that correct?
His what?
When you say the nickname, you're talking about the nickname Popcorn? Is it for you or your dad? I'm sorry.
It's the whole book is about things that happened to me during my lifetime. With writer's discretion, I add a little bit here and a little bit there and try to make it interesting. But I've had a lot of people that really enjoyed the book. Now, this book is about me. My father is in the book. I wrote about him. But
that's right. He was the soldier that...
yeah, he was in World War II. He actually captured 17 Japanese soldiers, single-handed.
Wow.
Yeah, but he got a medal for it, I think. And what happened was, he told me, was he got out. It was a moonlight night, and he got away from the camp that they had there on, I guess it was New Guinea. He was stationed on the beach in New Guinea. He was looking for souvenirs, and he snuck out from camp, kind of AWOL. And the moon was out big and bright, so he was out there looking for souvenirs, and he run upon these Japanese soldiers about to starve to death. The war was about over with, and they didn't want to get shot by walking up to the camp, so they needed somebody to lead them in. So he finally realized that, and then he gave one of them a stick with a little white rag on the end of the stick, and then marched them back up to camp, hollered at them, I'm bringing in captured 17 Japanese soldiers. And then he got a medal for it.
Good.
He said he was lucky he didn't get court-martialed for being AWOL. Then he was on a ship that it was separate time that he was on a ship, and he got torpedoed and he had to swim about 2 or 3 miles, he said.
Good Lord.
Shore, so he come home a war hero. I was pretty proud of him for that,
They don't make people like that anymore.
No, absolutely not. Because of him, who we are today and being able to do what we can do now, free here in the United States.
Absolutely. I saw today, there was a little snippet from the King Charles dinner with President Trump.
Yeah.
And Charles piped off a little short, snarky remark, said, well, if it wasn't for us, you all would be speaking French. And Trump, without missing a beat, said, well, if it wasn't for us, you all would be speaking German. So. I was like,
yeah.
That's why I like you. No, they don't make people like that anymore. And, a lot of times people will say, well, that generation was just rough and tough. They had to be. I mean, things they went through. I mean, the World War, the Depressions. I mean, goodness.
I look at a lot of times I think about what my grandmother and grandfather went through. I ended up living with them since I was about 5 years old, and they when he got torpedoed on that ship, it took about a couple of weeks before they ever found out whether he was still alive or not. And they were waiting for somebody to come up and walk to their door and tell him he was gone, you know. And going through all that, the depression, they went through the depression and everything. You know, what we have to deal with now is practically nothing compared to what they went through.
Yeah, trivial.
Daily. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take away the smartphones from people now, they'd be that'd be their depression.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. All right. Well, your dad, obviously he did some things right. He had you. So this book is talking about you growing up. And then of course you also, you're a coach for basketball. So I want you to tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was announcer. I was for 20 years there at Carlisle County High School.
Oh, okay.
And I never was a coach, but I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty close. I was winning, you know, sitting there on the stage or the countertop there, and I did all the bookkeeping and timekeeping. I did it all for 20 years. Plus, I would take care of anything needed to be done on the baseball, softball field. I really enjoyed my job. It was just a labor of love, definitely. I had to retire this past year. I had some medical problems, and I ended up finding out I had cancer.
Oh,
and, cancer of the brain, lung, and the prostate all at one time. I had cancer 13 years ago in the left lung, and they a small spot, and they cut it out, and I was cancer free up until about this time last year. We did a X-ray. Found a spot on the lung, and then I found a spot in my brain, and then one on my prostate. Or my prostate had it in there. Right now, we've done a PET scan, and everything's working out pretty good. The problem was we did radiation on everything, all three of them. Radiation in the lung was it caused me to have COPD now. So I'm trying to deal with quite a few things. Plus, I had back surgery about a year and a half ago, and it didn't work. I can only stand for so long or walk so far. It's just limited on all that stuff. But hey, I'm still here.
That's right. Every day above ground is better.
Like the Romans, I'm seasoned every day. So,
the cancer is a tough thing on the body, but you know, with modern medicine now, they're getting it licked. I mean, if they can get the treatments in time and get everything just right, it seems as though it's a good success. I was a paramedic, and I worked for a while in a cancer clinic, and I have to tell you, you all are some of the toughest patients as far as just grit in survival that I think I've ever. I met kids that had their brains half beat out on the highway who were bigger babies than somebody going through that. Yeah. I mean, wow. So, but I hope that everything works out for you. So
yeah. I think it will. They give me some kind of high-powered pills that I take in the morning and then in the afternoon, and then other kind of pills and stuff like that. And everything's working out right now. So I spent about 17 days in the hospital for the COPD thing that I had, and went to Nashville for about 10 days there and did these bronchocostomies. I think I had 4 of that done. And they got everything fixed up down there in Nashville, I guess, or enough to be able to, do what I need to do during the day. So, and this writing now, I've really gotten into the writing. I've actually got a sequel to this book, PopKorn and Moonshine. It's called, I'm calling it PopKorn and Moonshine, The Ghost Story. So, and I could tell you a little bit about that, but the thing about talking about this book is the things that are in it. There's 42 chapters, and some of them, Mama died in the first chapter, and it's about this little boy in Eastern Kentucky and it was based on me. My mother disappeared whenever I was 5 years old, and And this little boy, his mother disappeared when he was 5. PopKorn. Billy Wayne Coulter is the character's name. And he ended up with it was a widow woman that his mother had left him with, babysitting with him. And she never came back, and she took him in and took care of him. And then he grew up to be, when he grew up to be a man, and they was pretty poor, and they would raise garden and whatever they could do, catch animals to eat, and just him and her in a little old log cabin. And he learned he'd grow some popcorn, and then he learned he could sell that popcorn to some of the people around the mountains, hills there in Kentucky, and that's what they nicknamed was PopKorn. But then hill people and even West Kentucky people can't spell very good. I definitely can't spell very good. So that's how his nickname became PopKorn. Then the moonshine came later whenever he was a little older. He met a man in town and told him, hey, I can show you how to make a lot more money off that popcorn you got there or your corn than what you're making now. And then he got in the moonshine business.
Yeah, so, selling it out of the jars.
yeah. Instead of selling it out of the sack, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Appalachia life is difficult.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read Vice President Vance's book about him growing up. Wow.
This is, I was going to talk about that a little bit whenever I read his book, Hillbilly Trilogy. And then I've heard other things talked about him stuff. His life actually kind of mirrors what I live with my grandparents. He lived with his grandparents. His mother was he didn't know his daddy, but his mother was kind of hard on him. And mine was just the opposite. My mother disappeared, and then my dad was real hard on him. My dad, he was me and him didn't get along ever, really. But he was around whenever I found out when I was 40 years old, after I was married and had kids and everything, that I'd been adopted by my grandfather and grandfather. That the judge, whenever they went to the second divorce hearing, they wanted custody, and judge said they were such bad people that he wasn't going to give custody to either one of them. He's going to put us in an orphan's home. There was orphan's homes back then. And my grandfather was in the orphan's home when he was young. His mother and father died early. Him and his 3 sisters was in an orphan's home until his oldest sister got old enough to get out, and then she got married, and he got them out of the orphan's home. So he asked the judge if he would let them have custody of them, and the judge says okay. So, and thank my grandfather. I really thought a lot of him for he kept me out of an orphan's home. So, and you never know what's going to happen after that. But what was it Yogi Berra said when he come to the fork in the road? Take it.
Yeah.
And hope for the best. Huh? Hope you take the right one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Chris in our comments section said, I was going to tell Danny he's a hero. I was bitching about a headache earlier today.
I had a lady at school. I was weed eating and doing all kinds of things. It's been 3 or 4 years ago before I ever had back surgery or anything like that. She was on the phone talking to somebody. I walked in and was needing her to do something for me. And she told the lady on the phone, she says, wait a minute. She said, I got Mr. Superman in here, and I've got to talk to him a minute. I looked at her and said, he called me Superman. She said, at your age, the stuff you're doing, and I never thought about it. I won an award here back 2013, I think, for it's called the Fred Shea Award. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Most people, unless they're teachers, have never heard of it. It's a state award where 120 counties in the state nominate one person from their county in a school, because it's all teachers and superintendents and principals and stuff that go up there once a year to Louisville and the Galt House and stay, and then they give away awards for a lot of stuff. So this Fred Shea Award was for somebody that does things more than what his job just requires, I guess. That's what Fred Shea did. He was a postmaster in Colorado. This guy wrote a book about him. You probably picked that book up somewhere. And Fred was, he didn't know what the big deal was. He would just, this guy that was he was a writer, and he would stay away. He owned the house there. Fred was his postmaster, and he would try to help the writer out by doing things, to keep his mail safe. He went beyond what he was just required to do, and did that with everybody that was in his route. And so this guy picked up on it, wrote a book about it, and then he became pretty famous. So I ended up winning that award. I got $500 for it too. You dang right, that was pretty good. So but I did, and I talked to his wife. He actually was there whenever the night before, and I talked to his wife, and the wife said, "Well, Fred says he don't know what the big deal is. He just does his job, do these things he's supposed to do." And I told her the same thing. I said, "That's exactly what I have no idea why I win in this award, but out of 120 counties, I ended up winning the award. And I'm kind of proud of that. But if people think that, so,
you should be, yeah. That's for the $500. So
$500 come in handy too.
that's right. Well, what made you to, I guess, decide that you were going to write a book? Some people say, "Oh, I'm going to write a book," but they never do. What made you write the book?
That's a good question, because these other 3 books I got back here behind me are Carlisle County High School basketball books, of girls and boys. And it's volume 1, volume 2 on the boys because it's so large. But I've got every game. It took me about 10 years to get every game through microfilm at the library, and then going to different schools, and I kind of documented everything, all the statistics, everything. And so the money that it generated, we sold probably about 500 books in the initial. Basketball is just like crazy in this county that I live in. Carlisle County is just, they almost won the state tournament back in '83, come within 3 overtimes, lost by 2 points on putback. And so everybody's really excited about all that. And then the money that I generated, any kind of extra money, profits, I give to the athletic fund there in Carlisle. And my wife, when we got done, she said, "Well, you know how to write a book now, so why don't you write a book that makes us some money?" And I, well, okay, I'll try, So I kind of got to looking and reading about it, and they said, easiest way to write a book is just write about things that you know about. Write about the first thing you remember, and just move from there. So that's kind of what I did. I made a list of things that happened to me in my life, and then wrote stories about it, and it just kind of generated from there. So that's how we ended up with this PopKorn and Moonshine. This is my wife's book that I've made a little money off of.
Now, the truth is out there. Behind every man is a better woman. So
Ain't that the truth?
Well, so I take it by the way you were describing it, you had pretty much planned it out from start to end. You didn't just sit down and start banging on the keyboard one day.
Yeah, I sat down and wrote out things that I remembered happened in my life, like the mother disappeared, then war hero about my dad. I noted just, kind of like a starting of a chapter, and wrote down everything. And then I would go back and write the story about that thing that happened. And it just kept building and building until I ended up with about 42 different stories. And I had this one lady, she come to me, she said, well, she stopped me. I was working out there at school, and she stopped. She was in a car, and she stopped. She said, "I didn't know you wrote that book." Said, "I read that book." Said, "It's a great book." She said, "They can make a movie out of that book." I said, "Well, I wish they would."
Yeah, never say never.
Yeah, you never can say never. That's true. So
yeah, several of my guests on here have went on, and they're actually, one of them is actually, I heard from him last night. He's in. They've already started casting. So
already.
Yeah, he was a fire marshal investigator for Boston. And he wrote about in the 80s, and during all the fires, he was like the head guy.
Mm-hmm.
And great stories. And I told him, I said, well, you've gone Hollywood now. You're talking about where they cater to you and all this stuff. I said, you done lost my, my respect. He said somebody came to pick him up at his house. They took him to the airport. They flew him to the Hollywood. They picked him at the airport, took him to the house. Like, oh man, you've made the big time. So, so it can be done. It can be done. And, everybody wants to hear these heartwarming stories because we get too much of the negative blah, blah, blah every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you turn on the major news channels and it's all politics, and everybody's complaining about some things. We need these good, wholesome stories. So
that's what this book is about. I didn't really intend it for it to be that way, but I don't think there's a cuss word in this book. I don't think I wrote a cuss word of any kind or any kind of sexual stuff, anything about it, other than the little redheaded girl is, I picture her, well, in the book, she's my wife, and Bonnie is her name. My wife's Bonnie Susan. And she come from a little town that's about 7 or 8 miles from where I come from, where I grew up in Carlisle County, a little town called Kirbyton. She come from a little town called Fancy Farm. And it is the Guinness Book World's Record one-day picnic. They have a picnic every August. It's the first Saturday in August, I think, every year for the last 150 years. And this picnic brings in, I don't know how many people they got in Fancy Farm now. It's maybe a little bigger than it used to be years ago, but not by much. And maybe a couple thousand people, and wow. They end up being about 20 or 30,000 people come into this little bitty town on this one day. They barbecue. They have a big barbecue thing that they do. So many hundreds of pounds of pork and mutton, and they have it's a big political thing too. The governors and senators and everybody comes down. Used to, they'd stand on a stump out in front of the school and do their speeches and stuff, and now they've got it all set up where they can come in underneath a pavilion. We actually had George Wallace come there one year. You ever heard of George Wallace? I guess you have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He came and they put him on that was when he was in his wheelchair. They put him on a truck with a flatbed truck, and set him up there where he could speak. And some little kids somewhere, they finally figured it out. It shot off a couple of firecrackers. Well, when he did that, he hit the floor, and everybody went to scrambling because he'd been shot once. He's a little bit shy after that, I guess.
I would be too, yeah.
Oh man, but it was. They said it was a couple of kids had a couple of firecrackers that didn't know what they were doing. They're just playing. It's just almost chaos out in this little bitty town. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, do that these days, and somebody yells "gun" and the race on.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, we've conditioned ourselves to that with everybody thinking about that. So, but you didn't set out to be a sports historian, though, did you?
No. Well, I've always loved basketball, and I'm from this county that is just basketball crazy. And basketball has always been so important to me. Whenever I was growing up and I was living with my grandparents, I kind of had, I was always wondering, my father was always around. He'd come around and occasionally, and actually he tried to get me to live with him I went to 4 different grade schools in first grade. He was trying to, even though I was adopted by them, my grandparents, which I didn't know, and he didn't care, I'm sure. And his second wife, they tried to, we went to another little county there next to us, and I went to, I believe, Fairdale, then I went to Benton, then Gilbertsville little schools, and I finally ended up at Cunningham, which is in Carlisle County, and that's when I was living with my grandparents. It was actually my stepbrother Tommy was he was born in October, and by Christmas his second wife Shirley, she was a great woman, but I think I never did find out for sure, but I think she didn't really want me around, maybe. And so Christmas, they took me down to Christmas. We spent Christmas down there, and then when they left, they didn't take me back with them. So And I was actually tickled to death with that because I sure did love my grandmother and grandfather. My grandfather was a great man too.
It's funny how those little things influence my life.
Yeah.
I went to 4 different high schools. I guess, does that count?
Oh well, yeah. But yeah, it does. But it's when you're like first grade, that was pretty confusing. I didn't know whether I was going to go or what. You know, it was. I can remember. I sure was glad when I got back to my grandma and grandpa. So.
Well, one high school I didn't intend to go to. I was kidnapped by my father. So I'm with you. Yeah.
You should write a book. You should write a book. You know, I try to tell people that everybody should write a book because everybody's got a story. Everybody.
It is on my list of things to do while I'm on vacation, is to start putting some things down. I'm reevaluating a lot of things in my life, and so yeah. I've got a couple. Of course, I'm a paramedic firefighter by career, so I got a couple stories there too. So yeah,
I got to ride. I guess paramedic. I got to ride in a truck. They had to come get me here. I had Sunday morning. Probably about 6 weeks ago, they had to come get me, call 911. They come get me. I got to ride in the truck up to Paducah. It was about a 30-minute ride, and then stayed up there for about 10 days in the hospital at Paducah. And then on a Friday, they said I had to go to Nashville to people that could do better and stop my lungs or whatever that was stopped up or whatever. And I got to ride 3 hours down to Nashville in one of those trucks. And they don't really ride too good. They strap you in.
It's a pickup with a bed.
It was quite the ride, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't fly you, to be honest, because
they never did ask me that. But I've got a daughter-in-law that's she's a respiratory therapist there at this Paducah hospital, and she said you don't really want to fly because that flying is pretty bad too. It joshes you around, especially if it gets windy up in there. You know, the hospital that I stayed at down there in Nashville was one of the major hospitals in the United States, I think, Continental there, and it was 12 floors. So, I was on the 11th floor.
Is it Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Continental, I think it's 3 different sections of that hospital. One I was in was Continental, and I was on the 11th floor. A big picture window on the side over there. It was a single room, and at all time, and especially at night, they had 2 helicopters. They had a landing pad on top of the hospital, and they was coming in all the time. Yep. So the helicopters flying by and making, right above your head, heading right for your window, and then go above it and land. And then the nurses coming by wanting to take blood or test this or do that. I never did get no sleep. So
no, they poke and prod you all the time. Yeah, Vanderbilt's known for being a lung hospital. One of my friends is actually on the lung transplant list, and hopefully he's listening. He's in Vanderbilt right now. So
really,
yeah. So they are exceptional at what they do there.
Yeah, that's what I found out. I actually had 3 of those bronchostomies done up here at Paducah, and they couldn't get the stopped up, whatever it was stopped up. Had a plug in my airway on the left side because I done had the left side upper lobe done taken out. So the right side was working all right, but that left side wasn't. So they did 3 up here, and they couldn't do anything with it. So they sent me down there, and there's a lady down there. I can't remember the doctor's name, but she does this all the time, and she did it one bronchoscopy thing, and she was just really good. And everything, I ended up coming home, and man, I tell you what, ain't no place like home. That's what.
No.
What was the movie? The Dorothy.
Yes, Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz.
Ain't no place like home, man.
No place like home.
Yeah.
So, but you're feeling much better now, right?
I'm still a little weak and everything, but like I said, I don't know whether it's not being able to breathe real well or still, not 100%. I get tired real quick.
Sure.
I can't walk up any stairs hardly, and then I have to sit down a lot, and it could be my back hurts too because of that. So I don't know. The doctors talk like they would never would want to tell me. I kept asking them. I said, "Well, how long can I live with this? You know, cancer and COPD, and I have diabetes too, and the back surgery." And the doctor said, "Well, probably about 3 or 4 years." So it's already been about a year. So I'm trying to, like I said, carpe diem. I'm trying to seize every day, enjoying every day, and doing what I can. And what I can do is hit this keyboard down here and type and write. The book that I did, the PopKorn and Moonshine, I can't hardly pick it up and look at it. Almost every chapter in it. Some of it's pretty sad. It's one it's one lady. She read the book. She looked at me. She said, "Danny, you made me cry." I said, "All right." Did you like the book? She said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, I did." So I can't hardly. I pick it up and gotta go over it and look at it, and man, I think it's a great book.
Some ways did it help you to get some of that out? I mean, to release, because it's a lot of trauma.
Yeah, therapeutic, absolutely.
Yeah.
So whenever I was growing up, living with my grandparents, basketball became my outlet. Earliest I can remember, my grandfather, he drug up an old cedar tree one day, a big cedar tree, cut all the limbs off of it, took some boards, built a backboard, put a basketball rim on it, stuck it in the ground in the side yard out there, and then I would go out there and play on that rim in the dirt, in the mud, whatever. Sometimes in the mud, if it's muddy, I couldn't bounce the basketball, just pretend to bounce it, just run around and then I'd shoot it, you know. And I would do that until after dark. My grandma would have to holler at me, make me come in and stuff, but that always was a way I could get away from the problems that I had.
Sure. Did you play ball in school, or?
I did. I played grade school ball, and I was pretty good in 8th grade. I was leading scorer and most valuable player and everything. And then I got into high school, and then 9th grade, and I made the high school team or the freshman team, but I really wasn't applying myself at that time. I found two things. I found my future wife, and I got interested in her, and that took a lot of time. And then I got interested in what did they say, beer. I got to drinking beer about that time, and that was my input. I actually got in a lot of trouble when I was growing up, and I'm not going to go into that stuff, but I probably could have ended up. I was becoming like what my father was. My father was pretty volatile when he come back from the war. Who knows what he went to or what he done, you know? And he was very volatile. He was very quick to punish somebody. Sometimes punish me and his mother, you know. But anyway, I figured out that my wife Bonnie, kind of got with her probably about when I was about 15, and started dating her, and then we got married at 18. But she started pouring out her love to me, and I started taking a sip of it on him, and then I started drinking, and I started gulping. By the time we was 18, she just gave me, she saved me, or else I'd have probably been in prison somewhere.
Good.
No, me and her both agreed to that, you know, that's what would have happened to me.
Cheetah Brown put you away.
Yeah. But I didn't, and that's another fork in the road. Yogi Berra says, Yogi Berra, Yogi Berra.
Well, you know, it's hard for men to not do the things, emulate what they saw growing up, because you know, exactly. That's all we knew, you know. And
you've got that blood in you. You got their blood and their genes and stuff like that, and that's what I was becoming. I was becoming my father, and then my wife stopped that. and kept me from becoming my father. And a lot of times that I think Hillbilly Trilogy, you know, the J.D. Vance talked about it in that book about how people are kind of locked into that, you know, system where they just can't get out of it. He was lucky enough to get out of it. I was lucky enough to get out of it. But a lot of people don't, and they go become alcoholics and drug addicts and even worse, wife abusers and things like that. So,
yeah, well, I'm with you. My dad was never around, and you know, he was a Navy alcoholic, and then he went on to be a DJ. See where I got this from. But if it hadn't been for the fire department, I met some guys at the fire station, and I fell in love with the big red fire truck. And if it hadn't been for the guys at the fire station, I probably would have turned out different. Now, the missus, she would have probably beat me straight, but because we got married not too long after high school. But and I look at my son now, because what I did was I threw myself, because I don't know if you know anything about paramedics, firefighters. We make shit.
I got to see them up close.
Yeah, so I was working like 5 jobs, and now I look at it, and I threw myself into work so we get out of the house, because we didn't growing up. We lived with my grandmother. I didn't have a house, you know, so I had goals. I wanted a house, wanted a vehicle, and you know, I wanted stuff, and so I threw myself into work, and now I look and I see my son doing the exact same thing, and I'm like, time out. Time out. You know, so he is actually he's got I don't know, he's some secret squirrel with the government, and he works from home doing something on computers that I probably know nothing about, but he gets now, he spends more time with his family. We had a little chat, and I was like, look, I worked my ass off. I probably wasn't around enough. You probably won't like me very much, but you're gonna be a better dad than I was. So
that's what I give my son. My son, I've got a son and a daughter. Casey Andrew Henderson's my son. Amber Nicole Coolius is my daughter. She lives in Nashville, and but my son, he played basketball, did pretty good, and he ended up becoming a teacher here at Carlisle County, and he became a coach at Carlisle County, assistant coach. He never was a head coach, but assistant coach. Then one day he come walking across the parking lot, and he said, Dad, he said, they've offered me a job at Hickman County, which Hickman County was our biggest rival. Everybody fought there. They just hated one another, you know, county to county. And he looked at me and said, they've offered me a job, assistant superintendent down there. And he said, I make a lot more money. I looked at him and I said, do what you got to do, man. You got to feed your family. So, you know, but couldn't he went to any school other than Hickman County?
Could have went to Alabama.
Okay? He could have been anywhere, but anyway, he spent 2 years, I think, as assistant superintendent, then became superintendent. He was superintendent for 10 years down there. And then he actually moved up here to Carlisle County, and the last 2 years he was superintendent. And all that time, whenever I was working before he left to Hickman County, he was transportation director, and I was a bus driver. I drove a bus for about 10 years. That's another story. I should write a book about that too. But he was my boss, and I told my boss, I told the superintendent at that time when he hired Casey as a transportation director, and I was bus driver. We was at our little St. Charles picnic. It was a small picnic from smaller than Fancy Farm, but still picnic. And I told the superintendent at that time, I said, look, said, you hired my son as transportation director. You made him my boss. I said, it's kind of like my granddaughter. She walking up to me all the time now. I like what Trump used to do. He had that show, you know, where you're fired. And she walked up to me and she said, you're fired. I said, first couple of 100 times, that's funny. But after that, it ain't so funny. So I told superintendent, I said, well, don't worry about it. I said, if you look out the window there, the board office, and you see me and him rolling down that hill towards the baseball field, don't pay no attention. We're working out communication problems. He looked at me, he said, really? I said, no, that won't ever happen, I guarantee you. And it didn't. We worked together pretty good. most of the time.
That's good.
If your son becomes your boss, there's very few people that I think gets to experience that.
Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that. So I give you great credit for that. I don't know how that I would do that. I worked with my wife. That was bad enough.
Yeah, the stuff. So
yeah, just the wife. I worked with the wife, and I threatened to fire her a time or two. So.
Yeah, me too.
Did any of your kids make it to college or professional level?
Well, yeah. Casey, of course, he had to become superintendent. He had to go to college. He went to Murray State. That's I don't know if you know where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And both of them went to Murray State. My daughter became 5 years. I think she became an accountant, and she works for Caterpillar now, from Nashville. She does her work on the computer, and she makes really good money. And my son, of course, he went on to become superintendent. I still can't get over that. When he was playing ball in grade school and high school and stuff, and graduated from high school, he was like one of the more academic thing that it wasn't valedictorian, but it was like salutatorian maybe. And if somebody told me when he graduated that someday he would come back and become superintendent of this school, I'd have laughed at him. Well, no, but it was. He told me once. He said, "You didn't believe it. You didn't believe I could do the things that I did." And I said, "Son, I believed you could do it, but whether you would do it or not, that's what I did not know." So, and like I said, we had a lot of tough love, and he had that with his son. He's got a son now, and his son's doing great. He's almost about ready to turn 21. Got a great job as a lineman, and my son's got a daughter, and she's works for USEC, what they call USEC place. It's got a really good job, pays good. She got 4 years. She became an accountant too. My son said that, of course, my grandson, he got that job as a lineman. He's a lineman and really pays good, really good benefits and everything. And my son tells people, well, I tried like for all my, raising my daughter so that she wouldn't be working on a pole. And now my son is. So he like joke around about that.
I bet she loves that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying that.
It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody listens.
It's all love. Some of it's tough, some of it's not so.
Well, it sounds like all of you had an unbreakable spirit there. So
yeah, I've been very lucky. I've got a great family. Absolutely. Me and Bonnie we're about to celebrate 55 years in October.
Congratulations.
55, thank you. 55 years and then 3 years before that, we was like childhood sweethearts, kind of like what. And it's my life was not too good growing up, but once I got with her and got straightened up, then
it takes a little bit. So
yeah,
well, we all go through a rough patch, I think.
Yeah,
right before 20, somewhere right around in there, we all go through it.
Yeah, this patch that I'm going through now is pretty tough, but I'm gonna make it. So
you are.
I survived so far. I'm gonna keep on surviving.
Well,
got 3 or 4 years left to live. I say, well, you just wait and see what happens. So,
they're not gods.
I'm gonna fight to the last breath. So
yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
No, they don't. Them doctors, they don't know.
I always used to tell them, the ones I'm going to be friends with as a paramedic, I said, look, you're okay, but you're still just practicing medicine. You haven't got it right yet. You're still practicing. Yeah. They don't like that joke. Not one bit.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, you mentioned the moonshine.
Yeah.
Did you have a family history with moonshine? I don't necessarily mean drinking. Yeah,
no, that's I don't. It's like a lot of things that I wrote. I wrote this story about a cougar. There's one, and it's the chapter that's named Cougar. And when I got done writing and finished it, I got up and I went in there and I told Bonnie, I said, I don't know where this story come from, because it doesn't. I was amazed, And then she said, well, just keep writing, something motivation or something moves you to write about something. I said, okay. So there was a few other stories in there that there's some stories about Vietnam that people's asked me, did you go to Vietnam? There's a couple of stories about some things that happened about a little guy that was what they call a tunnel rat that they tie a rope around his leg, and he climbed down in a hole with a 45 pistol and a flashlight to shoot everything that moved. And then he'd holler and they'd pull him back out on that rope, pull him out. I actually met that guy. That was the guy that I met. He told me the story about it. His name was, we called him Dynamite. He was a little bitty guy, big glasses, and he was on so many different drugs because when he come out of Vietnam, he just, and still that way today, I guess. And then this other guy that I wrote about, story about Vietnam and everything, people would ask me, say, well, do you go to Vietnam? I said, no, but I talked to a couple of people that did, and that's the story that I wrote about, that it wasn't me that went there. I don't want to take credit for something I didn't do, especially something like that. But man, I tell you what, the people, that one guy I was talking about, they dropped him in on the hill there, and they come up the hill that night, got running through barbed wire, and they told him and said they'll get through that barbed wire and they'll get to us. You got to keep shooting. If you don't keep shooting, they'll overrun us, and then we'll all be dead. And one of them come over the top of that barbed wire while they were still shooting and got him with a bayonet. But he said he fought him and I guess defeated him, we'll say. And then it was, that's the way I looked at him. I had no idea he'd even went to Vietnam whenever I was talking to him years later. And,
well, they were all kids then.
Huh?
They were all kids then.
Yeah, I know. And we graduated from high school. My draft number was about 150 or something, and I think they was getting up to about 125. And I was afraid I was going to get called, but I never did get called. And then they done away with the draft. 71, I graduated in 71. I think it might have been 72, 73, they done away with the draft. And then started getting out of Vietnam stuff. But,
yeah, I think the average age for soldiers was like 19.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, so.
That's what this guy, his name was Wayne Wiley, the one that, and the other guy is named Guy Pierce, with a little tunnel rat. We called him Dynamite, what we called him. I don't really know why, but I thought this guy is on all this stuff, and people picked on him all the time. He just picked back, and I thought, I'm going to be nice to this guy, because even back then, this was back 20 years, 30 years ago, and I thought, he'd liable to just go off the handle one day and come in here with an AK-47 and start wiping out all you people that's being mean to him. I'm going to be nice to him. Maybe while he's shooting everybody else, I'll get away and run and get away from him. It's kind of a survival thing. He was such a good guy, though. But
yeah, a lot of them were, but they were put through such harsh things at such a young age. Absolutely. And then when they came back, nobody wanted them, which was, I think, the worst part of that whole. I mean, there was a lot bad about it, but the way we treated them coming back was probably the worst.
I know. Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody wants to feel unappreciated for something that they've done for their country. So, and I'm afraid we're going to repeat history again. I hope not, but
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I do too. But we, as a society, we have a history of basically doing the same thing again. So
yeah, what is it they say? You're doomed to repeat history if you don't remember it.
Yep, absolutely.
My grandfather was in World War I, and so he was over there in the Argonne Forest over there, and he was in a lot of bad battles and stuff. They wrote a book. Him and some other people wrote a book and kind of notarized everything that he did over there, or wrote it down and stuff. And then of course, my dad was in World War II, big hero. I kind of broke the mold by, not going military. So, but anyway.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So. Well, one of the things we like to talk about before we let you get, because we don't want to keep you all night, but we'd like to see if you've ever had any paranormal stories, you've ever seen Bigfoot, anything like that.
Yeah. Once me and my wife Bonnie was over there to my son's house, which is across this about a 4 mile bottom there across Carpenter Bottom. And we left his house and then pulled out on this highway, straight stretch. It's about 3-4 miles down through there. And a big hill over there, Curberton's kind of set. It's a little bitty town, small town, set back in this hill. The hill goes up pretty steep. And when we come out on the highway, I looked up and I seen these lights at the top of the hill up there. I mean, up in the air. You could tell it was up in the air. Probably about 10 white lights. And so I wished we would stop, maybe took some pictures or something. My wife seen it too, so we both knew what we were seeing. And they was kind of spaced out, but I couldn't really, tell exactly what it was or why it was, but they were just sitting there. They weren't moving. And we kept driving, and as we was driving, it got closer and closer. Then we start to the bottom of the hill, and by that time, these lights had already went over the hill. And when we got to the top of the hill, they were gone. So we kind of thought maybe we'd seen something. I talked to some people the next day about it, tried to tell people about it. Sometimes you tell people about stuff like that, and they want to come up with all kinds of different scenarios. They said, well, it's probably helicopters from the fort down there, no, these weren't helicopters. And they were still lights all the way across that bottom. It was several minutes, or a couple of minutes anyway, driving across that bottom. But I don't know for sure. I can't say.
Do you believe in?
Do what?
Do you believe in UFOs or aliens?
I do believe that there's probably something out there, some things, or maybe a lot of things. I don't know. I don't think that I know everything that there is to know. But I get kind of ill with people that think they know everything, because they don't know it. It can't be possible. I think there's a lot of things that are possible, but we just don't know it yet, including myself. But I kind of an open mind about all that. But I do. They're finding out all these different Earths out there. The telescopes, and the odds are that we're the only ones in the universe. I don't know. And why couldn't God, if it's God puts us here on this earth, why couldn't he put people on another earth? I mean, anything's possible. Well,
one thing I always tell everybody is, if you have a fish tank, you put goldfish in, you put guppies, you may put a tetra. How do we know God doesn't like other fish?
Exactly. I get kind of ill too when people start saying what, they like they're speaking for God. What God said this, or God did this, and I said, okay, if God's God, he can do anything he wants to do. And you can't say that he can't do this, because if he can do anything, he can do that. And put people on another planet besides ours. I know that.
I was listening to another show tonight, and they were talking about the flood, and his point was, well, whatever reset the entire earth, he did it because he didn't like what was going on. We might want to be kinder and gentler, because third time's a charm.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a very good
very good point.
I hadn't thought of that.
I think I've read books. I read all the time. I have this Libby. It's called Libby on my phone, that I can, Cracken County Library, and I can pull up any kind of books. I've read thousands and thousands of books. Really, I read a lot. And I used to pack a book around my back pocket, pull it out when I sit down and read my book. Now all I got to do is just pull my phone up and hit that thing, and then sometimes I'll read 2 or 3 books at one time. Read them.
So much easier nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all these books behind me, and I've probably got 10 times that in the Kindle, the
Really?
electronic version. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got a library over here too, but yeah. But I've got
One
also
of the-
a library on that phone.
Yeah. One of the guests I had not long ago, he says it's science fiction to keep him out of trouble with the government. And so I just managed to start picking up and reading his book. If 1/250th of what he writes in that book is true as a species, we're in trouble. Because it's all about aliens. I'm like,
I
wow.
watched one of your shows there, and there was this guy on there, and he was talking about that he had seen them, and he knew for sure this, that, and other. That kind of made me wonder, well, how do I know? Because I don't know everything. So how do I know what somebody else didn't see?
I had a CIA agent come on and tell me one night. Matter of fact, there's like 17 species that I've sat across the table with and dealt with.
I think
and I'm
I
like,
saw that show.
It's kind of an odd number. You usually come up with some other number, but that was pretty specific. And so Chris says they just found out today around Turkey recently a formation that measures the same dimensions. Yes, I was listening to the Y-Files talk about that. So they did the Noah's Ark in Turkey. Yeah, Turkey. So, well, hey, I don't want to keep you all night. I want everybody to know where can they get your book?
Lulu.com, LULU.com. If you can go to that website, and it's a great website, it's a worldwide website. They produce a lot of books and a lot of other stuff. And you can just type my name, Danny Henderson, and once you type my name in, all 4 of these books will come up.
Okay. Well, now you said you're working on another one. So
yes,
how long before you think
ghost story? And I would really like to tell you something about that, but if I open my mouth right now, it's I tried. They say first paragraph, first sentence catches people.
Yep, the hook.
That's and I'm pretty sure that first sentence and first paragraph is, if people read that, they're going to read the rest of the book. So
when do you think you'll have that one out?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just it depends on what I feel like writing at the time and how much I'm putting stories into it that I remember kind of, and then I don't know. Probably about maybe 6 months, maybe.
Okay. Well, now are you gonna come back and tell us about it? Yeah, Chris beat me to it.
I would love to.
Come back and tell us when it's done. Yeah, I got to get a copy of your book, so I'll send you a message and we'll work that out afterwards. But
okay.
Danny, I appreciate you for coming on and sparing a little time with us. And you're doing great. You're going to be fine, and I can't wait to read your next book. So we will talk to you soon. And I would tell you go Vols, but you'd probably hang up.
That's what I'm saying. Go Hickman County. Yeah,
exactly. That's telling us Alabama.
Got in the Vols.
I get it.
Oh man, okay. But that's
all right, brother. Well, have a great night. We will talk to you soon, Danny.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. Oh, that was great. I hope my Australian audience was able to keep up with this. Speaking a little bit of Appalachia, America. So, all right, everybody, hang on. WRFN, WZQR, Hour 2 is coming right up.
Broadcasting across Australia on Dare Media Group radio stations, this is the Sportcat Show, uncovering secret chapters, strange encounters,
and the occasional technical mishap.
That's right, everybody. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Sportcat Show, formerly known as the Paranormal Guys. Hour 2, we have a second guest, as always. And this young lady, she was on the show earlier. Well, not earlier today, but, in the past. And in fact, I talked about her last week. So let me bring her out. Holly, how are you? Oh, you're muted. Yeah, you're muted. Unmute. Yeah.
I was just surprised by my face so close in the screen.
Well, it's a beautiful face. We're glad to see you.
How you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing great. You got me in trouble last week.
Oh,
I don't. Maybe it wasn't last week. Might have been the week before. We had a great guest on, and his name of his books was "Dogs Chase Cars," and I had your book stuck in my head with his. And there's not a damn thing in his book about dogs. and I just kept tripping over. It's like, so what made you write about dogs? He's like, I didn't write about dogs. I was like, oh.
But then were you like, but why did you put dogs in the title?
I did. He explained. He was a metaphor. He was actually cool with it. He laughed at me. It was a sports book, and he was a sports journalist. I actually just he mailed me a copy of his book, and inside it he wrote, "There's absolutely no stories about dogs or cars in this book, Glenn."
Oh, that's awesome. Whoops.
So yeah, and after the show, I was like, I know, I was just reading about this. And Jennifer, she's normally with me, but
Yeah.
he has got some sick children, so she's out tonight. And she's
bummer.
like,
I was hoping to see her.
were you talking about Holly? And I'm like, oh, I was. So I blame you. It's all your fault, Holly.
Well, I'm sorry, but not sorry.
It's okay. I had you on my mind, so it's all good. So
There you go. There you go. How you been?
I've been good. Well, I don't know if you followed any of my stuff on social media, but just had a 3-month tour in Knoxville, Tennessee. Mom fell and broke her arm, and so I had to go paramedic her for a while. So
Oh,
she's
yeah.
good. She's good. So
Good.
and
Good.
this is my first show back in Georgia, and I don't know what it's like. I got like a real mic. I got lights. I got good audio.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
good that you're back.
I
And
am
I-
glad
and
to be.
I hope she's doing well. Well, better,
She is.
anyways.
She is. Yeah, she's going through PT, and I told her, I said, you're going to hate every minute of it, and that's great. So,
Yep.
so hey, to be 78 and never have had physical therapy, that's pretty good, I think.
That
So,
is very good. Those are some
Yeah.
good numbers there for sure.
yeah. So I'm what, 55, and I've been in physical therapy like 100 times. So
Yeah, exactly. I go every week
yeah,
for maintenance.
yeah, I probably need to. So how have you been? You've been good up there in the Great
So
Wild
good.
North?
Oh, so good. Actually, we just lost the snow, believe it or not. I mean, I'll take it even a step further. There is still snow in some spots, where they plow it.
Mhm.
It's still there.
And the
So,
piled up into
aside
blocks?
from that, we got so much snow. But aside from that, I'm great.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we went through a hot spell. It was like 80 every day here in the South, and now it's like in the 60s again. I'm like, what happened?
I wish
So,
I could say I feel sorry for you, but
I know, Jen. I was bitching about the heat while I was in Knoxville, and she's like, "It's snowing here, Glenn." I'm like,
exactly.
"Oh,
And she gets even wilder weather than we do here on this end of the country. I think they get Chinooks where they could get like a snowstorm in the
Yeah.
middle of July.
yeah." She told me that's what came through with this one, like some little hook,
Yep.
Chinook or something.
Chinook?
Yeah.
Chinook, yeah.
And she's like, we got like 6 inches in like 2 hours. Holy cow! It's like, man,
So we both have nothing to complain about.
no. So, and we don't have sick kids with us. So,
Right.
so-
That's right.
but she did want me to send her love because she was looking forward to talking to you. So,
Me too. I'll talk to her again, but this was what made me come in for 10 o'clock, Glenn, because I'm in bed for 2.5 hours by now.
it wasn't me.
Well, you too, but my girl Jen, come on.
Sure. You've crushed my heart. So,
I'm sorry. Well, now we get to do the show, just the two of us. Here we go.
that's right. But you're not that old, so you can stay up a little while longer. So
I'm almost as old as you.
that's pretty old.
That's we're old, Glenn.
I went to the barber. I said, "Can you trim some of this gray out?" And she says, "So you want the clippers?" I'm like, "No."
You want that to be a number 2?
It's like, you want a tip, don't you? So,
Oh,
so
gosh.
yeah. Get it. And I was just talking to Danny, and he's had quite a few health scares. There is no instruction manual written with getting old.
No.
It's horrible.
Today I was in the yard and my dog Sully, I was petting him. It was one of those very precious moments that are extremely rare, but he allowed me to just snuggle him. And I thought, oh, Holly, don't get in too tight. He'll like headbutt your nose or something. Nope. He butted my knee and it went backwards. And I let out a yell because I thought, uh-oh, this is it. My knee's busted. It's that initial shock.
Yep.
I was okay, but I said, gosh, like just 1 second and something in here could break a lot easier than it did, the chances were before. So
And
I hear you, Glenn.
Once we get old, you have that one injury and it's all downhill from there.
It's all downhill from there.
That's right. And you've got big dogs, don't you?
2 big dogs, 2 big rescue dogs. Yes. Yeah. Sully and Cash.
I don't remember what kind of
And
breeds.
they're older too. They're just mutts, as we call them here. I don't know if that's a term that you use there, but Heinz 57. It's another term.
Yeah.
Yeah. One's a shepherd mix and the other one we think is a boxer pointer. So, but they're both 65 pounds plus, but they're seniors now. So they move a little bit slower, but still have lots of energy.
Yeah. When I don't know if you ever heard me talk about Ginger, my hellhound. She's border collie mutt, and she's got one front leg that looks like an Australian shepherd, and she looks like Lassie, a red Lassie. And
okay.
When we went to Tennessee, Mom just smothers her with love, and my uncle was a veterinarian in Knoxville, so I prefer to go to the veterinarian in Knoxville because, well, my uncle trained the young lady. And plus, they're a lot cheaper, more reasonable. I'm sorry if I offended you, Georgia vet, but because I know they watch the show. But when we were there, she got sick, and I ended up spending like all this money on her. I'm like, good Lord, now my dog's on pills. She's got a thyroid problem, and now she's on a pain pill. It's like, good Lord.
Oh my! How old is she?
Well, we don't really know because she was a rescue. So we're assuming somewhere around 10 to 12, but we really don't know.
No.
That's a guesstimate. But some days she acts like she's a pup, and other days she looks at me like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So
does she ever come on the show, Glenn?
It's funny. She doesn't in here. She hates this room where I'm at here because she knows once I go back here, I'm ignoring her. But when I'm at Mom's, it's like a loft upstairs, and she has this one spot where if I've been on the computer for too long, she would go, and I can see her out of the corner of my eye. One spot where she's just staring straight at the camera, and you can see her real well. She would make cameos and appear. So,
well, like on my podcast now, I welcome guests to bring their pets. It's like the highlight of the episode.
Well, she's got more personality than me some days. It's so funny because we love them so much and we do anything for them, and they're just like humans. Sometimes they're like, no, I'm going to pout and I ain't going to be around you, and then they're going to go to Mama for their oh yeah, now that she's home and she's on a diet, she's not my fan at all. So because Mom, Grandma gave her everything she wanted. I'm like, no, Mom, stop. So
I know. I've got a mom like that too. In fact, the vet said, okay, Sully needs to, lay off the kibble a bit. So we bought him the weight control kibble. Well, of course, they don't like that. So we put low sodium beef or chicken broth on it. And they just gobble it up. But the things you do, right?
Oh, Mom made me take her off the dog food I had her on, which was, it's the one the vet recommends. Was it IAMS or Hills or I don't know. And this one, because the guy that was Robin in Batman, he is the one that created this dog food. And mom's like, that's the best dog food. I'm like, what? Just because the guy made on TV made it? She loves it. She loves it. And it's actually, it's freeze dried. It's not the, the kills. Yeah. So, but
that's a fun fact though, that Robin created it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the character.
Yeah. What? Gosh, I can see his face. I can't think of his name. Was it? No, I'm thinking Adam West, but what was Robin's name? I don't know, but yeah, if you see it there, it's really good dog food, and she loves it. But I can't get it here in Georgia, so next time I go up there, I'll buy like a truckload and bring it home with me. So,
and do you need a freezer for that then?
No. It's already. It's freeze. They freeze dry it when it comes out, and so it's not like the dry chunks. It's almost like a gummy bear, so to speak. So. And of course, like you were saying, mom would put anything on it. So, yeah. So she, when I was in Knoxville the year before taking care of my aunt with dementia, I went downstairs and I didn't pay a lot of attention because my aunt, her husband was a veterinarian, but she had dementia. So she wasn't always thinking. She fed Ginger a whole ham. I was like, what? When I found out, because she'd like take a little for her and then she'd stick some. And mom finally caught her. She's like, where did the ham go? And Ginger's sitting there looking up at her. She's like, you didn't give it to her, did you? No.
That was the best day for Ginger.
Oh, it was. It was. So she probably still has puppy dreams about that day. Don't you wish sometimes we could read their minds?
Oh my goodness, do I ever. It's a nightly event, right? Watching Cash chase something in his sleep and then his eyes are rolling and the paws. Everyone knows that, or has witnessed it. Their dogs do it, right? The paws moving and then the twitching. And it's like, where are you going? And do they dream like us? Do they dream in color? Do they dream in black and white? Do they dream?
Yeah, I guess we don't know. I think we know about the cancer. I think, is it dogs that see in color or cats?
It's certain colors I think that dogs see in. Red is not one of them, or some blues and greens, or I can't remember now.
I spent enough time around a vet clinic. I should know, but yeah, and, I would love to. We had a pet psychic on once, and she was phenomenal. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I believe this, man. She told me stuff about my cat Squatch that there was no way that she's like, I've never talked to a cat quite like that. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I had an argument with him. He told me he was a dog. I was like, yep, that's my cat. that's well,
then Squatch. How can you not believe it?
I did. She was very good. And she told me, we had another dog. It was my wife's dog. She was a rescue. Mm-hmm. And from here in Atlanta, she was picked up out of a drug house. She was a bait dog. And she was just a smaller, not a pit bull, American bull terrier. And she was a bait dog in a drug house. And so she got rescued. We picked her up from the pound, or rescued her from the pound. Mm-hmm. And she always had like this nervous condition. And she told me, it's a great show. If you ever get a chance, go back and watch it with the animal psychic. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, and your other dog's a little weird too. I'm like, oh, she's like, she wants to get high. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, she wants pot. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then it hit me because I was a paramedic in the next county over. I was like, oh, wait a minute. She was in a drug house. I get it. She likes the pot. She wants to be.
Like, how would that even come through for a psychic, right?
Yeah. Because she's like, you've kept some weird animals. I'm like, yeah, that checks. So
that checks. You got to have her back on with me.
We could do that. She emails me every now and then. I need to. She was great. Yeah, very that would be really cool.
That would be fun. Yeah.
She's got some kind of connection. She talks about when she's out in the woods and just walking, and like a bird will fly down on her shoulder and be like, hey, I know you can talk to me. Tell me where such and such is. And she's like, how did you know I could talk to you?
Wow.
So that would be, would be the ultimate.
It's tough though, right? Like our skepticism kicks in hard. We
Yes.
want to believe, but then we do this, oh, it's not possible. But then you're given these nuggets of information that you're like, how is this not possible? So yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
believer. I
me
want to
too.
believe.
Me too. I do too.
Yeah.
And I mean, now, if you've watched any of my shows, we've had some interesting guests. I'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
But we've had quite a few that that come through and give you such credible things. And I don't know if you heard me talking to Danny. I'm reading a book from one of the guys we had on recently, and
Mhm.
he wrote it because of his job. He wrote it as fiction, science fiction, and it's all
Okay.
about aliens and the whole. What are they calling it now? The disclosure or the transparency.
Mhm.
If 1/250th, and I'm only like on chapter 10 of that book,
Mhm.
is true out of that book, we are in trouble as a species.
Oh,
It is. Whew. So, yeah, well, I'm not it's called Hush. Is it? Yeah, Hush by M.D. Selig. Great book. And don't read it before you go to bed. I can tell you that.
so what you're saying is it's fiction, but based on
Apparently, he
reality?
had a really crazy job with our government. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So,
Hmm.
and who are we to say? I mean, one thing I was telling Beth, Mrs. Sportcat tonight, if there's not something to this, seems like our government would have just put something out there. But now they're kind of like, yeah, we told you we're going to tell you, but we're not going to tell you. So
Well, they just gave enough to
yeah.
keep it going. Right?
I figured when we started bombing some country, we'll get all of it. So that's what America does. I look over here. So
I created a short story. Gosh, it's quite a few months ago, but I was going through a period of migraine headaches, and so I do this thing when I go to bed or lay down. I'll tell myself stories to try and fall asleep. So I constructed this entire story. Her name is Penny, and she is an alien that presents as a human. And so I woke up and she was in the doorway, and my dog was beside me, and we made a deal. I'll try to make it short. Anyways, we make a deal. She says, I'll take away all your pain, but I need to know everything you can tell me about your dog and how they how you live with them, because I see they're like friends to you humans. So we want to have some of these. So we made an exchange, and the dog wasn't nervous at all. He was really, happy and calm around her. And so this went on for a while, and we exchanged information. And then when I woke up, I found there was a plush toy by the dog. This is a story I made up, obviously not true, but she took away my headache. There you go. That was I created a story to get rid of the headache.
well, your creativity's got to come from somewhere. So
Well, that was the closest I've ever been to aliens, but it was a cute story. Yeah.
maybe you really
Much better
were.
on paper than verbally.
No, you could have been visited in the middle of the night. You never know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like don't read those books before you go to sleep. Or was it
Yeah.
Whitley Strieber, something like that. I read those in high school. That guy would get picked up nightly. I was like, holy cow, dude. So
These are fiction?
no, he said it was real. This guy
Oh.
did. Whitley Strieber, I think. And I was like, how do you not go to Mayberry and lock yourself in Andy's jail or something so they can't get you out?
Yeah. But have they picked up any of our dogs is what I want to know.
Well, now remember Men in Black, the dogs
Yeah.
were alien. So,
Oh.
so
Yeah, but that's
maybe,
Hollywood.
but who knows? Maybe dogs are aliens. Sometimes the way Ginger looks at me, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're thinking right there, but I hope it's good.
Maybe we're the aliens and they're the okay.
Some days I question everything.
Oh my gosh. But they must want pets themselves, so you know.
You would think you need some kind of
We
companionship. Float
we
up
need to
there.
get the psychic on so she can ask some of the dogs if they've ever been abducted. Abducted.
You just made that up.
This is what happens at 10 o'clock at night for someone who goes to bed at 8.
And tonight your dog's gonna wake you up going, "Hey, I was abducted last night. Thanks."
I was abducted.
A dog
And you
did.
know, Glenn, you know what's gonna happen tonight in my dreams now. You know it's gonna happen. Gosh darn it.
You're gonna have to I love it. Gosh darn it. You're gonna have to email me and tell me all about it. So
Because I really could write books based on my dreams, and I know it's gonna happen. So if you want,
just put me in there somewhere. Some fat guy in a corner talking, or well, maybe not in your
narrating,
bedroom. Yeah, not in your bedroom. I don't
living room,
yeah,
narrating.
I'm drinking Mountain Dew in the living room. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, are we allowed to show a brand name?
Yeah. Nobody's
This is
watching.
what's keeping me up. Nobody's watching. Of course they're watching.
Yeah, we get like 2 views. So.
Here's the engagement. Are you all watching? Come on.
Yeah, no kidding. Where's Chris? Chris coming in here. Say something. Make sure Chris didn't fall asleep up there in Illinois or get shot. He's outside of Chicago. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't have that problem up there. So lucky.
No, they like knives up here instead of guns, but
I think that's worse. I think as a paramedic, all the things I've seen, I think I'd rather be shot than stabbed. So I mean,
next subject, please.
Your dream's gonna be really bad tonight. Hey, I picked up a guy one time. I don't know if you have it there, but like the news crew, or before you break into the evening news, they always has like this footing, like Channel 2, and they show the building burning and the cops running, and all. And I'm on this scene, and this guy is in the back of a cruiser, and he's yelling something outside the window, and I know what he's saying because I watched it. Because I was there. He was screaming, "Whatever you do, brother, take the ass beating. Don't get tased." So, there's always one thing worse.
Glenn, have you written a book? You must have quite the stories.
It's funny you say that. And I was talking to Jen about this. I told her, I said, I need your help. She wants to learn about podcasting. I'm like, I'm just a fat guy that likes to talk a lot. There's not I don't know what I can teach you, but I said, all right, I'll teach you everything I know. It'll be like an hour, but you have to help me with. I want to write. I've got a couple ideas. What they always say, and like we were talking about, Danny, write about what you know. But the problem is, there's a million firemen, paramedic books out there, so. I don't know. Do I got stories? I mean, yeah, I got crazy stories about stuff that people would never believe. People don't understand. The inner cities are war zones. They really don't understand it. And so, yeah, I got plenty of stories. But then I've got a paranormal story in my head. And once again, writing about what I know. I grew up outside of Washington, D.C., so I like all of the pomp and circumstance of the memorials and the monuments and the White House and all that. And in my last book, since I was attacked on duty by a dog, and I was a paramedic trainer, all of my training, we had self-defense, how not to get shot, how not to get sick. Not one time did they ever teach us about animal attacks. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to pass on to the next generation of responders.
Right.
But unfortunately, in my case, she wasn't doing it to be mean. She was doing it to be a protector of her owner. But there are mean dogs out there, and it's not necessarily because they were made mean. It's just we have mean people. So
that's right.
But we sometimes see them as, oh, nice little furry thing. And next thing you know, you're missing a digit or something. And I think it would be nice for some of us to write a book about how not to get bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So no, that's a good point.
And I would put
And
in
you know
the
what, Glenn?
about not getting attacked by Sasquatch too. So
Well, that would be another story. Could be an anthology. You were saying there's a lot of firefighter, paramedic books out there, but they're not told by you. So your story is very different than the other stories. Doesn't
That's
matter how many are out there. Your version is different, and it's
true.
your story. Because if you think about it, I mean, how many romance books are being released every day? How many romantasy, fantasy, science fiction that all follow sort of like that formulaic storyline, but we keep buying them. It's
True.
so yeah. Just keep that in mind, right? Like your stories will be very different than the next guy or the next paramedic or firefighter.
And one of my most recent guests, he said, "Hey, the next few books I'm going to write smut because it sells." I'm like,
Yep, pretty much.
I never realized that. I was like, what? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So apparently romance in smut sells. So who knew?
Yes.
So
I know. It's a whole underground world.
I've been married for so long, I didn't know that stuff existed. So, so there you go. Well, now have you said you've written short stories, but are you writing another book, or what do you got in the works?
I am.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So it's a sweet romance, and it's a meet cute in the dog park, and that happens right in the very beginning of the book.
Aw.
And yeah, and I'm gonna flip the script on this one, where a lot of romance books, the man rescues the woman, and he does initially in several scenes, but in the end, I'm gonna flip it, and she's gonna rescue him. So in a big way. And there are tons of dogs in this story, and it's been so much fun writing it. It's off to the editor right now for developmental edit.
Oh, how long did it take you to
Yeah.
do that?
To write the manuscript, like the draft?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I was dabbling in it last year while I was getting my first book done. If I was to actually sit down, it would be a few months, I think, to get that first draft. Now, that's, just that story on the paper. But when I set my mind to something, it's just recently the time, there isn't a whole lot of that thing called time. But that's okay, because I'm doing fun stuff right now, and the book's been keeping me busy. But this one, of course, it's fun as well, right? Because it's like more dogs, more cutesy, sweet stories.
Now, I also some of our I don't know if we were live in Australia last time you were here. Tell everybody about your current book.
Yes, North of Broken and Forever Home. So it's the story of a woman in her midlife, and she's looking for purpose, and everything is just going the wrong way. Her kids have moved off to university. Her mom is dealing with mental health issues. She's married, but she's not really enjoying her job. They lost their dog, rescue dog. So her best friend, who's a director of a shelter, convinces her to go on a rescue mission up north for a day to get a pack of dogs. So they do. And of course, she falls in love with one of the dogs. So their paths converge, and they separate, come back together. One of the dogs does have a voice in the story, so he tells his version while she tells hers. But the fun part about this book is that both dogs in the story are my two dogs. So I fictionalized their story. Yeah.
Now, I know you've probably told me this, or you probably suggested it. Whose voice is the dog?
Out of my two dogs?
Yeah, well, in the book, when you're writing, whose voice is it? Is it an actor? Is it you? Is it your kids? Or
I see what you mean. No, it's his own. I kind of gave him Sully's own voice, I suppose. I have a thoughts of what it sounds like. Not too young, not too old, kind of older teen, I suppose, because that's where he was at in the book. But that's a good question. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's his own.
well, I mean,
So if
with
I was to
Ginger,
have this book there, sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say with Ginger, she's always sounding pissed off at me. So she's like, "What is a treat? What is this?" I'm like, look, I used to tell Mom every night when she would go down there and bark at Mom. I'm like, "Who's winning this argument, Mom?"
Does Ginger look pissed off most of the time, or just
No, she just, if she doesn't get her way, which is, like a kid. So, and she's my baby. I'll be honest. So,
Oh, I love it. I support that.
yeah. I mean,
No, but like if I have this book narrated, because I would love to put it in audiobook format, but it is not cheap. So, but I have visions of what Sully's voice would sound like. So it's just natural for me to hear it.
it's not, what was the guy that did Star Wars? James Earl Jones. It's not James Earl Jones.
No. Although he has an absolutely beautiful voice. No, that would not be Sully. No.
Yeah, I don't know whose Gingers would be. I'd have to think about that. But yeah,
Almost sounds like she's sassy.
she is very
Yeah.
sassy. And and I don't know if she was the first dog that I remember ever having this, but she can give you expressions. She can smile, she can look at you a certain way. And I don't, like I said, I think that's the border collie in her. Because they're very expressive and she likes to talk back. And me, and like I said, her and Mom would argue. I'm like, so who's winning this one, Mom? So
You know who comes to mind for
Who's that?
Ginger? Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Oh yeah.
Not Ginger, but Marianne.
No, she wouldn't. No, Ginger wouldn't be her, but Marianne, yes, I
Maybe.
could see that. Yeah,
She had that little bit of an attitude and the big eyes,
She's like
She didn't have bad attitude, but she was just very, I don't know.
She was scrappy. I
Yeah,
think that would be a good word for her. She was scrappy.
crappy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, heck, it had to be trapped on an island with those idiots.
Exactly. Mr. Howell. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Now, see, I think Mr. Howell would be Squatch.
That was the best show, though. It really was.
It really was. And, I'm surprised they haven't remade that one. They've remade so many of them.
I agree. They remade The Love Boat, and it was like, no.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Dukes of Hazzard. They haven't remade that one, and they should not.
No, they remade Dukes of Hazzard in a movie. It was horrible.
But it was them, though, wasn't it?
No. They had, oh God, no, it wasn't them. And yeah, it wasn't very good. They really promoted sex in it more than anything. Of course, that's Hollywood. And I mean, granted, Daisy, she was hot. Yeah, I was a high schooler at the time, so I could say that. But yeah,
I was gonna marry Luke, so I get it. Every Friday night.
That's right. So that was one of the best shows. Emergency. That was what probably pushed me over the edge into getting into this career. So,
you know which one, other than Dukes of Hazzard, which one was my absolute favorite? You want to play a game? Do you want to like 3 guesses?
Well, now you got kind of tell me a genre. Is it comedies?
Okay. Oh gosh. Well, it was in the evening. I remember that. And it was not dramatic, but action packed, I suppose. There was only one main character. Well,
MacGyver?
2 if you consider the object.
MacGyver?
No,
Oh.
but that's a good guess.
Oh, you were talking about Kit. Yeah, the car.
Knight Rider.
Yeah, Knight Rider. Michael.
Hasselhoff.
Yes. The Hoff.
The Hoff. That was the best show ever.
Yes, the car was awesome. So
Kit was the best. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and now look, cars are doing that.
You're right.
I was watching a video right before coming on here, Black Scout Survival, he was talking about Ford now has in their vehicle, if you get in and you like swerve because a squirrel runs out in front of you, then you slam on the brakes because somebody stops in front of you, and then you do something else, the car will just cut off and it'll tell you you can't drive. And you're just like stranded. It won't start back up. And I'm like,
well, that's not good.
when did we give AI this technology to say, no, you can't drive? See, I'd be out there with a bat. I'd be hitting it and be like, look, bitch, you're going to start.
That's right. You're going to keep moving. It's bad enough right now. My car slams on the brakes for me. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. The car's a mile away.
Mine did that when I was backing into a parking spot and it just saw like a limb and about through the windshield. Like, what the hell? Yeah, it's like a little tiny hedge. So,
I know.
Yeah.
I panic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got a Tesla in space. I mean, come on. Why do we need a Tesla in space? But we have one. And then my daughter went on honeymoon in San Francisco and they got in a taxi and there was no driver. One of those
No.
driverless cars. I was like, I would have got right out.
Oh, right out.
How this ends.
I'm out. Absolutely.
Yep. I have seen how this ends. Yeah, especially get in, it locks the doors. Like, whoa, wait.
Yeah. That's the bad version of Kit.
That's right. I'm out.
I think there was an episode where Kit went bad. I don't know if you remember that, but he turned.
I kind of
Am I making that up?
No, I kind of recall it.
I feel like he went rogue or something
too. Yeah. Yeah. It was like somebody had, I guess back then it wouldn't be hacking. Yeah. I guess it was hacked. Yeah. And yeah, he had like bad programming. He had like bad DNA. Yeah, I remember that. So
oh my gosh, I cannot believe the memory lane that we're going down.
We're showing our age. All of my younger audiences.
It was the best time, Glenn.
It was
the best time.
Now, did you like the 80s music though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, the 70s wasn't bad, but the 80s, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
70s.
A little rock and roll. So
yeah. 80s was just, I don't know. There were melodies and I don't know. The lyrics were fun and poppy, and 90s wasn't even bad, but that's when the dance music started to come through, which wasn't terrible. It was fine. It's just different, right? As far as country, I go back to the old country. That was my favorite country.
Yep.
Then it got weird for about 20 years.
Well, now it's just pop. So
yeah. However, that being said, I was never a country singer. Nope, was never a country singer or listener. But I love Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, those guys, Roger Whittaker. But now, like these guys like Luke Combs and Jody. This is the 10 o'clock thing. Cody Johnson. I don't know. I'm enjoying them. Lainey Wilson. Like they're kicking butt. I just find it's like a twist on the old country. I don't know. They just have soul, right?
And,
Chris Stapleton.
What's Waylon Jennings? His son. What is his son's name? He's got some good albums out. I played on my radio station. I should know this. It's like Scooter Jennings or something. I don't know. I'm probably making that up.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
I don't know. There are some good ones out there.
Yeah,
they've got that Hardy. He's another great one. Jelly Roll. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll though.
No,
he's got a good voice. I just can't get the tattoo things. That's not country.
I know, but that's like Post Malone too. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get face tattoos, but teach his own.
Well, it's a weird story. Morgan Wallen, he went to high school with my daughter. So yeah.
What?
Yeah, in Tennessee. Yeah, right there in Gibbs. And in fact, he was just back while I was up there. He gave, I don't know how many millions of dollars to the school so that they could have like a new ball field and new band room. And it's like, wow, he's giving back to the community. You don't hear that either from a lot.
No.
So
that's the stuff that we need to hear, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of them. It's, they want the watches, they want the cars, they want the, the girls or the guys.
Yeah.
So Now, wait a minute. Now, where are you? Oh, I don't. This might get us added here. Where are you on Taylor Swift?
Nowhere. Now ask my son the same question. He's a Swiftie through and through, but I'm more interested in her and Travis than anything because I think it's cute.
That, and you know what's funny is that's the only reason I really knew she existed. When I started doing the Thin Line Rock Station, they said, "What Taylor Swift song do you want to play on your show? Because we got to get one in every few hours." And I'm like, "Who?" He's like,
"Yeah,
okay, you're kidding me, right?" And I'm like, "No, really, I'm not."
Like, I think she's an amazing artist, woman, human, but it's not the album I reach for, right? It's
no.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful, and she does have some good workout.
Yes,
she has a weird tick that I find interesting. She doesn't like to stay in hotels, so in every state where she tours, she has a home in that state. So she's like in Nashville. She's got a home in Nashville. She's in like Huntsville, Alabama. She's not a singer. She's a real estate mogul.
No kidding. But she can, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And now that she's with him, you know. And did he retire? I don't remember. Did he retire?
I don't think so. Oh, his brother did.
Yeah, his brother did. Yeah, his brother's crazy, which is funny. But yeah, I don't think he did. I think he wanted to come back and try one more year, which, you know,
I think so.
That's how they get hurt.
Yes. I mean, there is a track record there for the older football players, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at me. Listen to me. If my husband ever watches this, look at I'm talking football.
You're
10
a
o'clock
baller.
at night.
You're a baller. We got it now. But no, there's a few. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, but yeah, go take the money and go home. You know?
Yeah.
Live
your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, and you know, some of the younger kids are doing that. They're like 3 years in, they've made a couple million, they've got some investors, and then they're like, yeah, I'm done. And people can't understand it. And I'm like, yeah, why would, I mean, they can go buy car dealership, hotel chain, they can do whatever they want to do, still have a productive life and not be crippled up or have dementia or whatever, you know? So.
Well, that's just it. I've watched too many of these documentaries on football players mostly, but wrestlers as well. I'm really into watching wrestling documentaries because I was brought up in the 80s. And it's just unbelievable what they've been through.
Yeah, football is exciting to talk about 24/7, Holly. So we woke Chris up and we start talking about sports.
Are we going to get any comments on wrestling? Come on. Well, let me hear it.
Okay, now is wrestling real? It's wrestling if you're in the South. It's wrestling.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's wrestling.
It's okay.
Okay, what was the question? I'm sorry, I got caught up.
Is wrestling real or fake? Oh, you're having to think about this.
Well, it's because I've been watching too much of it on Netflix. With John Cena and the whole saga. I don't want to use the word fake because, okay, are soap operas real or fake, right? Daytime.
There's stories.
There's stories, right? Yeah. There's stories. And so I think that they are stories that they enact, but you can't tell me these guys aren't hitting each other.
Oh no,
some of that's real.
They absolutely, there's real injuries. Yeah. So,
and when they get a chair across the head, that is not fake.
No.
But watching some of these documentaries is just, it's sad. What's oh my goodness, the new series at HBO, or is it Max now, that they put out, something The Ring. Anyways, amazing documentary. Oh, Ring of Darkness or something like that. But I think they were on season 4 now.
Oh, I'm behind.
It'll come to me. So good. So good.
So who is your favorite wrestler?
My favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't make fun, but I love doing. My favorite wrestler is.
You sound really hot doing that. So my ratings just went up. So
I could do it all night. My favorite wrestler is gosh, you got me. I would have to say it's because now I'm thinking of them in the older. Oh, of course. Hello, Holly. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Duh.
Oh,
I had a blip there.
Yeah,
CM
Stone Cold.
Punk. What's that?
He's married to AJ Lee, and AJ Lee.
Oh yeah.
She's my favorite. Well, I did like Ronda Rousey, but AJ Lee is my favorite, and she's back. So,
but Ronda Rousey, she was so much better as an MMA artist. Come on.
She was like the most badass woman in the world.
Yes. I mean, what happened to her? Where'd she go?
She had a family. She decided she wanted to have kids and stuff, and now she's coming back. I don't know if she's on the 250. No, she's got the lady who knocked her out for her final fight.
Wasn't it Holly? Somebody? Was it Holly?
It might have been. Yeah. They're having a rematch because they're both coming out of retirement for it, and I'm not sure if that's on the 250th. You know, we get this big thing at the White House where they're going to come beat each other's brains out on the, which, how much more American can you get? We got to blow some shit up while we're at it, but I mean, how much more American can you get? So on the grounds of the White House, people beating the hell out of each other.
Dark Side of the Ring, Glenn. That's what it is.
Dark Side of the Ring. Okay. I will check that out. So
you must check it out. It is a fabulous docuseries. I think we're on season 4 or 5, but the stories you will hear will astonish you. Yeah, what these men put themselves through.
I've seen some of those about football players on ESPN.
Yes,
and one of I really grew up watching him as a Tampa Bay Buck. Warren Sapp. He's a big guy. I mean, he's just a big guy. He's not now, obviously, but it takes him like 3 hours and 2 people to get out of bed in the morning because he's in so much pain. And he's like, I wouldn't do it again, but it's the best thing I ever did in my life. I was like,
of course.
So, but yeah, I mean, so and there's the same in football. Of course, with a traumatic brain injury, that's a bad thing. So, and then a few seasons ago, the guy who died on the field, he's back. They brought him back, but so
Stone Cold Steve Austin had a show come out, and it was Stone Cold is my fave.
Something Ranch, wasn't it?
Yes, Skull Crusher Ranch. Skull Crusher Ranch.
I can't remember. It was a ranch, and it was a it was kind of like a mini survival thing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a second.
Now,
I really enjoyed that show. Yeah.
So, do you do reality TV?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite reality TV show?
Oh, I don't know if you want to hear this though. It's kind of embarrassing.
You want
to play the game again?
It's not going to embarrass me one bit.
Do you want to play the 3 guess game again?
Sure. I'll try. I'm not very good at this with reality though.
Well, you're going to do Shot in the Dark first, or do you want a hint?
Well, give me a hint.
Okay.
Broken Skull Ranch.
Broken Skull Ranch. Yep, there it is. Broken Skull Ranch. Love that show. They're on an island. I'm wrong. I take it back. It's not Love Island. I don't even like that show.
Okay, so it's not the one where it's either the girl for the guy or the guy for the girl or whatever it is.
No.
Okay.
I don't know why I was thinking about that, but it's got the word love in it.
Got the word love in it.
Do you watch the reality TV, Glenn?
I watch some, but
Okay.
I know Love Island, but now that's stuck in my head.
Think of one of the senses, one of the 5 senses. Love is
You got me.
blind. Love is blind.
Love is Blind. Okay, no, I don't know that one. So okay.
It's terrible, terrible TV. But after a full day of work, just
Well-
want to see them get married.
Well, no. Look, well, I liked the one. It was only on for like 2 or 3 seasons. Myrtle Manor. It was about a trailer park in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
And you want to talk about some trailer park trash that got into some fights and did some shenanigans? That was embarrassing. My wife made me watch it. So, but
I've never even heard of it, but you probably get 20,000 more shows than we'll ever get. But you know what I did watch? Love After Lockup.
oh my gosh, yes. Well, what about the show? Oh, they rescue dogs. They put them with prisoners. Is that a reality show, or is that? I guess it's a reality.
Oh, was that the Pitbull one?
Yeah.
Pities and something.
Inmates and
yeah.
Pities or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Pitbulls and Parolees.
yeah. You never
Chris is going to
realize.
tell us in a minute.
No kidding. You never realize you could come on and talk about all this. We're going to talk about your book. We're talking about all this junk.
Book? What book?
I didn't write a book. Who's this? So,
I'm going to go write a book now after all this about 80s trivia, I think. Pitbulls and Parolees. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a good show.
My favorite, and you have it up there, Big Brother on what's CBS here.
It was good in the first 2 years, and then it's just a bunch of people fighting.
But that's what makes it fun. You like a bunch of
suppose.
crazy people who all want to be influencers in Hollywood into a suite and say there's only one way out: get voted out or win. I guess that's 2 ways out. But I'm from Tennessee. Don't judge me on that. But that's my favorite. And I do a show on it when it's out during its season, during the summer. I do a after show. So, and we drag them. Oh, we have so much fun with that. So
You do an after show after these 2 shows?
No. After Big Brother, when it's on, Big
Brother after show. I'm gonna say, like, Glenn, how do you even stay awake?
Lots of Mountain Dew. So lots of
Actually,
Mountain Dew
I
and
am
PTSD. So
yes. I am a sucker for the Housewives
oh God.
and Below Deck. Oh my gosh, they're all coming out now. That's all I watch is reality TV.
You're really her. Mickey's going to be like, she's gone. Cut. So,
Below Deck's fun.
It's not bad. So the Housewives. Yeah, I was because we had the Housewives in Atlanta, and I met some of them, and so
it's terrible TV, but
there were some good fights, but I could watch wrestling and get better fights. So
wrestling.
That's right. You got to correct me, dear. So it's wrestling, dude. My God, you should hear me on my radio show. I'll say something real country, and I'll just roll with it. I'm like, well, goddamn, I don't know where the hell that came from. I reckon I'll just roll with it then. All right, up next, Hank.
I love it. I just love it. I feel like I might have lived in those states at one point in my life.
Well, you do have a little southern drawl in with your is it Canadian?
Little twang.
Yeah, you get a little twang
there. Canuckisms.
Well, I did learn in all my time traveling as a flight medic, spent a lot of time in Canada. There's a lot of rednecks up there. There's a lot of rednecks up there.
Yes. I live in a town full of them.
Yeah. I got stranded in Red Deer, Manitoba. So
yes, I lived up in northern Manitoba.
It was -50. Not a fan.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I went outside, my eyeballs froze. I was like, it's too cold. Why do people live in this? And then the next week I was in Qatar, where it was 115. So I was
Oh,
like,
wow. So here's something I've been thinking about, Glenn. Maybe you can help me work this out.
uh-oh.
I live in Northern Ontario. There's even northern parts of Ontario and Canada that are much colder than where I live. And so people from other countries think that we live in whatever, igloos, snow houses, whatever, right? That we and I mean that, like, some people actually think we live in snow houses, but some places in the States get worse weather than we do. Like,
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Buffalo and Northern Michigan.
Cleveland. It's just Cleveland. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like, I don't like, everybody thinks that we live in this far north, but there are places more southern than us that get it worse.
I think it's what they've been conditioned to on TV. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because until I traveled as a flight medic, I'd been to across the country and up and down the East Coast and the South, but I'd never really, I got to go places there that I was like, this is really cool. And then I saw some places like Cleveland where I thought, what the hell is this? But but yeah, you're right. People do get things locked in their head about that, and that's what they think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's just TV or Hollywood or but if you don't get out and explore this world, you're never going to know. No. I was blessed in my job. I got to go to Ireland. I got to see all the places over in the Sandbox. Don't want to ever do that again. Went to, I think, pretty much it's a province, right, of Canada. I think went to every one of them.
Province, yeah.
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 Because we used to, I was a flight medic, and we'd pick up the injured snowbirds. So they'd be in Miami and they'd break a leg or something, or be drunk on a cruise down on the islands, and we'd fly them back home. And there was a lot of drunk snowbirds on the island.
Apparently, my goodness, huh?
But yeah, and one of my funniest stories, that was somewhere up there, I don't know where. And my partner, she was like my grandma. She really was. She was old enough to be my grandma, Pat. Loved her to death. Great partner. And we're in this hospital up north, and I'm giving my report, and I'm just doing me. And these nurses are sitting over there like this. Of course, I was younger, probably about 200 pounds thinner. I filled out the flight suit pretty well. And one of the nurses stops and she goes, "Stop." "What?" She goes, "Just talk. Say something." I'm like, "What?" And Pat's over there going, "For the love of God." she's old salty nurse. She's like, "Come on, I can't take you anywhere." I'm like, "What the hell is she talking about? I don't know what the hell she wants me to say."
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, "Oh, so cute." What?
So cute.
Oh, it's like, "Oh, I'm married, but you're a nurse." But yeah. But yeah, and so, but you don't realize, and like, I love your accent. You sound really sweet, really hot. I'm sure the people on the radio are just melting right now. So she's a hot blonde. You need to come over to the Sportcat Show, subscribe, and you'll see her. So
that's right. And then you go over to my show and subscribe.
That's right. Go to her show. And I hear over there, she may show a little cleavage. Not sure. Maybe flannel, but cleavage. Now your husband's going to be messaging me, and Mickey's going to be like, "Nope, can't have her back again."
If you think flannel's hot, then I guess that's your show for sure.
Oh, well.
Teach his own.
I'm thinking of Canada. So
that's right. See, look, buffalo plaid.
There you go.
Buffalo plaid.
You know what? I didn't notice the green plaid. You pointed that out.
That's right. Buffalo plaid. Can't see because I'm like close up on this thing. I don't know why, but
we don't have green.
It's a whole
camo here, or green flannel here. I'm jealous.
Well, yeah, you didn't read the memo, Glenn. You're supposed to wear plaid.
Oh, well. Who knew?
That's it. You're gonna come on my show, and you're gonna have to wear plaid. That's the only rule.
I'll do it. Just let me know. I'll be glad to come in your show. God knows what I'll say, but I'll gladly come on your show. So
Just need to talk about your dog, Ginger. We've got that established. So
we
it's
can
really
do,
about her,
it
not
is
about you.
It is,
Okay.
and I'll drag her in. I'll bring treats. She'll come in. So
Oh, there we go. Book it.
and Chris says, how can you like Housewives and football / Stone Cold? Seems contradictory to my concept of everything.
Well, I am eclectic and unique.
Yeah, you are very unique. Holly, I just looked at the clock. We have kept you overtime, and so you're now Mickey's going to charge me an extra dime.
Oh, take it out of my invoice.
Well, I will come on your show. Just email me. Let me know when. Next week at the beach. So Mrs. Sportcat has been very adamant that I'm not allowed to touch the computer at all, except to write. She's let me.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Flannel, curly, and musky fish and dog.
I did fishing was in my younger days. I'm over that now.
That's not the name of your show, is it?
That would be a good title, though. Flannel, curling, and musky fishing.
That would. And so you said
and wrestling.
And wrestling. So I love you. I love you. So don't tell your husband. But we only get like 2 people watching the show, so don't worry. So Holly, tell everybody where they can get your book at. And
what book?
Course, but you wrote a book, right? I just invite hot chicks on to talk about flannel and wrestling. That's all it is to it. Just
Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you're listening. No, my book is North of Broken and Forever Home. You can buy it anywhere, really. I mean, Amazon is probably your number one spot. Okay. And Ramblings from the Little Shed is my podcast. And I'd love it if some listeners popped in over there and listened to my son and I ramble. But we also talk to people from all walks of life about how their pets influence their creativity. And then we talk about the human a little bit after that too. And then you're going to listen to Glen at some point soon. So
yeah, apparently I'm going to come over there. I want to. Yeah, I love doing other people's shows. So
yeah, it is fun.
Just sometimes never know what I'll say. So yeah. But you're probably not live, I guess. So
I'm not live. No, not live. I don't really fully understand the concept yet of why live and why record.
I don't
really. I mean, I'm new at this whole podcasting world, but having a blast.
Sweetheart,
and loving
I make this shit up every time I go live. I don't know. I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
Well, we're having fun, and that is the main thing, Glen.
There you go. It's what I told Jen earlier. So she's like, I don't know if I could do it. I get my self-confidence. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm just about a hot, bloated bag of air. That's all I am. So,
and Jen is amazing, and we love her. So
she is. I do. I don't want to lose her. So I got to be nice to her.
Won't.
So
that's right.
No, I won't. She told me. She says, you're not getting rid of me. I'm like, oh, okay. It's the same thing my wife said. She hasn't killed me yet. So
that's awesome.
I am not suicidal. I just want to go on the record before I go to the beach. That's right. Holly, and you have a website too, don't you?
Yep. Yes. www.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Me?
Go ahead.
It's www.ramblingsfromthelittleshed.com.
And you do what is it, Substack too, right?
Yes. Like, do you want to play the 3 guess game again?
Well, I bet it's a rambling shed. So
you know what? Bing bing, actually, you are on. It's Ramblings from the Little Shed.
I think I subscribed to you. I think I subscribed to a few. I'm not
awesome. Thank you.
I'm not very good about reading those things though. I don't know why.
That's okay.
I'd prefer to read like a book or a Kindle or something.
I
don't know.
That's just fine. But okay, I want to know how to get the YouTube subscribers up. I don't know. I can't figure that puzzle out.
Me either. Not
that numbers matter, but I'm thinking, I feel like you need the subscribers to be able to get the reach for some reason.
Well, if you don't get the subscribers, you don't get moved up in what they call the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I have tried everything from AI, and I don't know if you notice this, but we're running way over in time, but I put a lot of effort in the show description, the show art,
Mhm.
and then afterwards I go and I tweak it all and I make it, put a nice little package. And sometimes I just sit there and I think, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because I get to meet a lot of great people and I enjoy it. I really do have a blast with all my guests. Very rarely do I have a guest where I'm like, we won't do that again.
Right.
I've had to. But in 3 years, that's not bad. Some days you're like, there's got to be some, I'm doing some. And then I see these putzes that just make shit up. And I got like 10,000 viewers. Like, what?
I know.
I
think they're buying their way in. But you know what, Glenn? We'll come back to this point. I agree with you 150%. Because some days you just don't know. But the day we stop having fun, I think that's the sign that we have to stop doing it. But I'm really having at the time of my life. I get to hang out with my kid on my podcast. I get to meet amazing people who influence me, who inspire me. And so we just have to keep doing it. I mean, I'm not joking about the numbers and the subscribers. Sure, I want to know because I always want to evolve and get better and I want to do better. And I'll just say this. If there's a contest for the best thumbnails, I think I'm going to be in the running because I am rocking thumbnails, which I would have never done, 2 months ago. So good for us.
Yeah.
In our
I try to do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the 5th decade? Quinn, because we're in our 5th decade, right? So.
Oh yeah, I don't like to admit that, but yeah, I'm old.
You did already. So.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm the one who's rambling on now. So.
That's all right. We love you. Yes, you're going to come back. And yes, just let me know when. I will be glad to come on there and just warn your son. I'm pretty sure it's a bipolar redneck from the South. So I don't know what we'll get. So just warn him.
Well, you better go buy some flannel. That's
I got flannel. I just don't have green flannel, which I'm really disappointed.
That's fine. We don't discriminate on the type of flannel.
Well, we'll have to do it in winter then, because right now it's like hotter than a Baptist hell in the South. So you won't catch me in flannel.
It's 30 degrees in here with the wood stove on. So you can do it for half an hour, Glenn. Come on.
I'm sweating in a t-shirt. So,
pull up your winter boots and
my galoshes.
Your mucklucks.
my toque. Oh God, he's rubbed off on me. Chris says he went and subbed, so he said you still.
What does that mean? Subbed?
He wouldn't subscribe to your show.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad it didn't say snubbed. Thank you, Chris.
Snubbed Holly, but she still got to come back. Yeah, it was her accent. Couldn't stand it.
Thank you.
But,
I appreciate that so much, Chris.
You know what? We have to think about this. You're in Canada. I'm down here in the South. On the same continent. Our accents and our craziness is a daytime show right now in Australia that people are listening to, and they're probably going, I don't understand what the two of them are talking about half the time.
Between wrestling and Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get canceled for doing the accent. I know it one day. Somebody is going to.
No, actually, here in the South, we're pretty friendly with that. So,
yeah.
Unless there's certain words you can't say unless you're a Southerner. So, y'all
are
as
you
well.
allowed to say them on air or no?
Well, I mean, you can say the 7 dirty words as a Southerner. I think you can say that anywhere, except on FM radio, which we are on. But no, you can't say like y'all. Oh, hold on. What do you call a soda pop up there? A Coca-Cola, a Mountain Dew? What do you call it?
A pop.
Yeah, so you just failed in the South. They're all Coca-Cola.
You guys call it soda.
No. That's a Yankee thing. It's cola. Everything's a Coke. Everything's a
cola?
Everything is a Coke, yeah. You go into...
Even a ginger ale?
Yep, I want a Coke, yeah. Whenever you go into Waffle House... Well, you don't have them up there either. That's you probably don't want them. You get gonorrhea, diarrhea, and pyorrhea all in the same visit. But God, it's some good food. So, but no, yeah, everything's a Coke. So, and you go a little north of Kentucky, and it's a pop, which is weird.
Pap, not
yeah, it's
yeah.
pop. It's a pop. It's a pop. And you can't order sweet tea unless you're in the South.
I was just gonna say sweet tea. Well, that's not true because I went to Michigan. My son's going to school there, and Panera had sweet tea.
Now, wait a minute. Did it come with sugar already in it?
Well, they had tea and they had sweet tea. They had iced tea and sweet tea.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, Chris says Chicago goes at pop too. You're a lone guy out here in the Sill Glen. Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. But before I see you again, Glenn, I'm going to come up with the whole acronym sheet and a Canadianism sheet of words. And we're going to do a little compare and contrast.
We could do that. Bob and Doug McKenzie, take off, eh? So,
hoser. Yeah, hoser, eh?
It's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Now your Australian viewers are like either tuning out or going, what is happening? Have the aliens abducted them?
This is what happens when you keep two podcasters up late at night.
And one who should be sleeping for 3 hours.
That's right. This is reality right here. All right, Holly. Thank you very much. Love you. I really do. Thank you for coming back. And we will get you back. And I'll come over and I'll do your show. I may wear a flannel toque. So there you go.
Even better.
There you go.
So much fun, Glenn.
As long as it's not a flannel jockstrap. So there you go. I'm going to wear that on the beach.
Unless you're Stone Cold Steve Austin. Strange brew. Excellent. All right.
That's right. Holly, have a great night. Thank you for coming on. And apologize to your husband in advance in case he watches this. So.
He's sleeping.
All right. There you go. And my 2 viewers have already commented, so we're good. So. All right, Holly. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Bye-bye, Glenn.
Bye. All right, everybody. I kept you up later, or unless you're in Australia, we're still lunchtime over there. I want to thank everybody at WZQR, WRFN, and of course, Australia for tuning in. Dare Talk Radio Country, Dare Talk Country, for allowing us to be on and tickle your ears. Please come over to YouTube, and you can see all this crazy shenanigans under the Sportcat shows. And give us a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up, or leave me hate mail. I don't care. So, Chris, yes, it was great. Great guess as always. Next week, a little housekeeping. We'll be on repeat on WZQR and WRFN because I will be at the beach. And then next week, the week after that, I will be back live with Brenda doing the Daily Gazette. So we will catch everybody soon. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. On your way out the door, hit that thumbs up button and come over and give us a subscribe because the juice is worth the squeeze. So everybody have a great night. I will talk to you soon.